What is going on, everybody? Welcome back Monday night. Yes, I was not live last Monday. Most of you guys know I had some dental work done, so been sore, but actually it's healing up pretty nice, and thankful for the good job the dentist did. Uh, so I just want to say thank you to everyone that has showed up in the side chat. Always good supporters. So thank you guys. Still a little sore, but I'm a grown man. I get through it. What's up, Mr. and Mrs. Stumper? Hello. Hey, Doc. Buddy, good to see you. Like always. Tiger, you're excited for this weekend. Yes. I guess the big buzz on the internet right now that's going around is this is epic. This weekend's going to be epic. This meetup is going to be epic. I just received some pictures a few minutes ago from Dallas of Evil Rick and Fat Glide and Kelpfire. Seems like they're starting early. So cheers to you guys. Glad you're having fun in Tennessee. What's up, Indian Mike? My man, what's up, buddy? I really feel like there's going to be, a decent crowd there, a good set of people that I've waited a long time to actually meet a lot of these people. And I hope they feel the same way, towards me. If not, here's a drink to you. It's cool anyways. But, I think it's going to be an epic meetup. I just feel like, there's some people out there that I've really wanted to, get a little further than just talking on screen, which I know, we all, we kind of see each other on screen, but that's not real. I mean, it's real to a point, but it's not like really hanging out. Like when you go hang out with somebody like DDK or somebody, I mean, it's so much better actually getting to meet people that you've, talked to for over a year or so, or however long it is, and, Raptor Ranch. Hey, how you doing, Slim Jim? What's up? Apple Glide. Hey, buddy. Good to see you in here finally. I know you've been busy. So have I. Salty Badger. What's up, man? Like always, keeping it real with the choppers, brother. Um, you know, I was thinking earlier, I left my computer on the other day, and for some reason, I can't get it to turn off like it's showing that I'm on social media. Like someone was a friend of mine, she was messaging me, and I was like, "Hey, I'm not on social media. You know what I mean? Why are you keep messaging? It's cool you're messaging me, but." She's like, "Well, it's showing that you're active on Instagram and and stuff." And I'm like, "Okay, but I'm not." So I came in here and checked, and I had forgot my computer on, and for some reason, I tried to dig into it and find out why it is showing when I got my computer on because I wasn't on Instagram on my laptop. So, but it's showing that. So I've been digging through it trying to figure it out, and I haven't figured it out yet. So I know everybody thinks I live on social media, but I actually have a life, and my kids are on fall break this week, which I didn't know until Saturday. So which is fine. They're almost grown. They know how to feed themselves. But, you know, um, getting to do things with them, and stuff like that. I hope everybody can hear me, by the way. I've been messing with my microphone and doing some things. Is my number one priority. So social media comes last, in my opinion. I know a lot of people don't believe that, but truthfully, you know, it does. I actually have a real life. So I'm going to say a quote like I gave to 131 Jess. She had a bad comment, here a few weeks back from somebody, and I sent her a thing saying, you all you see is my social media life, but you don't know my real life, or something like that. It went something like that. So, I actually have deleted all. You know what, buddy? I got close to something like that. I just kind of, taking a break from here and there, social media. Um, you want to come on, Indian Mike? You let me know. Uh, And it's just, it's not that I'm going to delete it. It's just, I think that, a lot of people get this perception of, because we all know there's so many channels out here. Just, there's a lot in the motorcycle community, man. But here's the thing. I, I'm going to give Pro Monkey a shout out because I know a lot of people saying, why, whatever. He's my friend. That's why. This guy has over 100,000 subscribers and followers. Okay. I don't see any of them other channels, even from 50,000 and up. You really don't see them do live streams. I don't care if someone says, oh, they don't have time. Bullshit. They have time. They just refuse to do it. They think by seeing, connecting with their followers and, and people that they say they're friends with is, doing a video, chasing sponsorship and shit, which I don't believe that. Monkey is not that way. And that's why I'm going to give him credit because he'll do his live stream and then he invites a few of us on. And you know what? I've even noticed there's a few people that don't like when other people come on the screen. They just want to watch him and, Mrs. Monkey. So they'll drop off and they'll drop 100, watchers. But you know what? It never stops him, man. He doesn't say, hang on, I can't let you guys on to hang out because my followers are not going to watch, man. He's not like that. So I've been really thinking about that lately, because there's so many, people that I don't believe, they're really connecting to their audience, man. They're just, you know, they think they are, but they're not. And man, I think it would humble them a lot if they would get on there and do that. Because some of those bigger channels, man, they just, I don't know. I think they have room to improve. I guess that's why I stopped watching a lot of them because they're not about, even now there is a couple, I'm not going to lie. There's a couple that actually do, a couple of live streams and they do interviews, here and there. But they're always interviewing people that are big time or big name people or something, they never try to help the smaller channels out. They never try to really, encourage other people to go follow. If you're in their side chat, if you're talking to them, I've been in many of them, and they don't want to give you a shout out. It's such a competition there, Indian Mikey. I sent it through your Instagram, buddy, message. They're it's like they're scared. They're scared that their followers are going to go and subscribe to you and they're going to leave them. No, they're going to stay with them. What's up, Two Up? Hope everything's good with your finger, buddy. I don't know if you're back on the bike yet, but looking forward to seeing everybody this weekend. Yeah, buddy. Hope you're doing good. Here's a drink to your copperhead. So, I mean, that's the thing. I just think there's so much room for improvement on YouTube, and or I could just be talking out my ass. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really care. And I'm not just talking about me because I'm not trying to make movies. I'm not trying to do all this editing stuff. And I was talking to, and I don't think he would mind me saying his name, Full Throttle Hog. He did a premiere the other day, and of course I follow him as well, and we talk. And he's one man. He will talk to you no matter what. He doesn't care if you even got a subscriber. He's a good dude. And I was like, dude, the work you do and the time you put in this, you should have over 200,000 followers. Because I know that he's done a lot better work than a lot of these other people that I call, sponsor chasers and shit like that. Because all you see is videos of their little products. And I mean, they will freaking take toothpaste or nail polish or anything and advertise it just to have a sponsor. So where is the legit shit in that? I don't believe it. I believe it's crazy. There's a lot of channels out there that could improve, in my opinion, and mine included. But like I said, I'm not here to do movie star production movies, videos. I just like to show people what I like to do, and that's it. I'm not trying to be somebody else. I'm not trying to make these cinematic editing movies and stuff. You all know that. I just record what I like to record, and put it out there. If somebody watches it, they watch it. No big deal, you know. I appreciate it, you know, when they do. I always appreciate my subscribers and followers, but I think there's a room for improvement for me as well. But like I said, I'm not trying to make money on YouTube. I'm not, and I get it. The ones that do, that's fine. It's their business. It's their channel. They do what they want. But I think there's room for improvement when it comes to their followers and their, you know, and like I said, this is just my opinion. So, you know, I think a lot of people could do a lot of things that, you know, but like I said, and someone else said a long time ago, it may have been Bry or somebody like that said, between that first, you know, 5,000 subscribe, you know, it's such a competition. It's like you're fighting for scraps, you know, if you're really wanting to grow your channel. What's up, Kazumoto? Here's to you down under. Good things in the works coming your way shortly, hopefully. Okay, Doc says, I'm always open to sponsorship as long as it is related to, yeah, you know, and I get that, Doc. But what are you willing to do for the sponsorships? What I'm talking about. Are you willing to not even connect with your customers? No, you're not. You know what I mean? Because I know you. I know you're better than that. So, you know what, Zen, buddy? I completely 100% agree with you. And that's all I try to do is be real. You know, I try to really just, like I said, I really don't edit much. And like I said, I have no issue with anyone's channel. That's their channel. If they want to edit and make movies, hey, more power to you. It's not got no, I ain't got no say in it because it's not my business. But what I'm saying is, I think there's room for improvement with everybody. So, you know, Mikey, I sent you the link, buddy, on Instagram. And like I said, I've been going on, Cowboy. What's up, buddy? I seen you earlier. Sorry I didn't holler at you. But like I was saying about this meetup this weekend, man, I mean, dude, I think it's going to be epic. Just by the people that's coming, a lot of good people, you know, and the people that's already there, man. I mean, I can't wait. Yeah, you see it. There you go, Indy Ridge. That's what it says on the hat. If anybody's wondering, only very few get this hat. So, Steve, give you a shout out, buddy. So, Dan, congratulations on your suspension, buddy. Glad you got him. What's up, Salty? It's the meetup this weekend. It is Dallas Face Mullet has been putting this together for over a year now, pretty much. It's in kind of middle Tennessee. It's Henry Horton State Park. It's a YouTuber meetup. Just basically, it started out because he went to VAM, and the group of guys he met with was they decided to do a meetup, and it turned into a bigger meetup. So, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Ray? What's going on, brother?
How are you? Are you driving?
Are you the cops or not? Because if
yeah, where you at? What you got under your seat?
so, if you're the cops, it's just a green screen.
Okay.
If it's just you, yep. I'm just I'm headed up to somewhere around Columbia for some. My wife is doing homework.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm just taking care of business and keeping her, you know, blind and fed
you're
and
not
happy.
taking it.
So she.
I was gonna say, hopefully you're not taking a shit. Then he said you're taking care of business. What's up, Rob?
Barbecue first.
Hey, so how are you enjoying freaking Columbia, buddy? or Middle Tennessee?
It's beautiful. I've spent time in Eastern Tennessee, not a lot of time, and I've been to Nashville a few times, but not a lot. But man, I mean, I grew up in, I grew up in the country in Alabama, so this is, this is old home, like it's just,
it
I mean,
feels more comfortable. Yeah.
yeah. Well, and it's funny too because we've been up north and out west a lot lately, and so we were out last night and we went to this little bar and grill and heard some live music and had a hamburger, and Renee was like, "Man, I forgot how just nice and friendly everybody is, down here." And so she's from Baton Rouge, so she's a Southern girl too. And
yeah, so
like,
yeah, because it's relaxing.
It is.
It's a comfort feeling that you're in a good place. I mean, and that's why I've had people ask, why don't you come off that mountain? I'm like, dude, because I can go to the city anytime I want, but trust me, I'm glad I can actually leave and go back to the country when I get ready because I don't have to deal. And Nashville, Knoxville, Memphis, cities, I know they're not as big as New York and LA, but look, they're big enough that I don't want to be there. You know what I mean? And I enjoy the city now. I enjoy going and doing certain things and taking the kids and doing stuff like that. But I also enjoy the fact that we can leave and we don't have to be in that mess because I live 20 miles south of Atlanta, and I can tell you that's one place I never want to go back. What's up, my brother?
Hello. How are you?
Look at that face. Ain't been on YouTube in over a year.
It's been a long time, man.
Yeah. So this is Keith. Keith, this is Mikey.
Hey, what's up, Mikey?
Mikey and his wife are traveling nurses, or his wife's a traveler.
Very cool.
Yeah, they travel.
So you deal with the same stuff we do, which is mainly freedom. But but
Right
hey,
on.
before I forget though, right? So you were talking about like the city and everything, and I'm here to tell you, man, like, so we're looking for property. We're going to be buying next like May, June. By the time it all wraps up, it'll probably be in the summer, right? And I'm telling you, my one demand was that I don't want to be anywhere near a city.
Mm-mm.
But because look, when stuff gets going, when stuff goes down, the cities are the last place you want to be. I mean, I don't want to be like a freaking end of the world kind of guy or nothing, but I'm just saying you're going to feel
we know
better one day about being on top of that mountain.
Yeah, we know they target the bigger places first.
Yeah, I mean, look, when people start getting hungry, they ain't going to the mountain. They're going to, downtown, wherever.
Yeah, they ain't gonna expect us, canning our own food and stuff. So man, how did you friend Mikey? So glad you came to Tennessee, brother.
See, it's been so long. I forgot to turn my phone sideways.
I hope your buddy enjoyed it too, man. I hope y'all had a good time.
He loved it. He loved it down there. He was talking when we got back, like, let's go right back. Like, dude, I can't afford that. Like, it's not going to work. We boiled our oil about 40 miles south of Detroit in a traffic jam. So he's waiting to change things out. I'm not going to worry about it. I don't think it was as bad as he says it is, but, each their own. So I've still been riding up here as long as I can, man. It's freaking cold here. I hate this place.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah. Hey, I cut out. Mikey, where'd you say you are?
Just north of Detroit, about 20 miles north of Detroit.
Yeah, we just left Wisconsin, so I know exactly what you're talking about. It got cold on us, man. That last week before we just left, and man, it was. I wouldn't want to be there in January. That's for sure.
No, I don't want to be either. But it looks like that's going to be the case, unfortunately.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, they
into a
were in
snowmobile.
California, Keith. They were in California, and now they've come back to the East Coast. So
Yeah,
Yeah, we
I
hit
knew.
Oregon first, headed back to Indianapolis, then rode out to California.
Rhode Island, you froze up there a little bit.
All right, hold on.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm with the Thumper. Screw the cold, even though it gets cold. I hate the cold. I think tonight's low is going to be like 45 here. So, or that's what it says. It usually does. So, I mean, it's, you know.
yeah. Look, I don't mind. I don't mind cold as long as I can still ride, but I
Yeah.
just don't want snow and ice.
And that's the bad part of where I'm at because we get that black ice and, you know, you just don't know where it's at. I mean, yeah, it got cold fast, Rob. I mean, it just, and I thought I was going to have a better fall, you know, longer. But usually we get a fall like weather for about a week or maybe a week and a half. And then for some reason it just turns cold so quick that. But I mean, what'd you say, Keith? It's what, 69 there, 70 degrees? That's
Yeah,
nice.
it's not bad at all, man. I mean, it'll be like I think I looked at the weather. Thumper and I were talking earlier, and I think it's like like low to mid 50s at night, and then mid to high 70s. I mean
Where are
it
you at
doesn't look
right
like
now,
it's
Keith?
supposed to rain.
What's that,
What's
Mike?
that?
Where are you at, Keith?
Just south of Columbia, Tennessee, like south of like a good bit south of Nashville.
That's a beautiful area, man. I spent some time down there on business. I loved it down there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Tennessee's great. I'm originally from Alabama, but grew up mostly in Houston. But I love Tennessee. Tennessee's a great place.
There's plenty to do in that area too. Hop up to Franklin if you need to. Get up into Nashville. Everything's an hour away.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, no, there's some, and you got the Smokies and well, like you said, you're not far from so much, And like Ray said, if you want to go to the city, you can go to the city, and but then you can get the heck out.
And that's the thing. I mean, I've got teenage girls, man. They like to shop. They like to do things. So I go to the city. I do the things. But even they enjoy getting, leaving and getting to come home and say, man, I'm glad we don't deal with that traffic or those people every day,
Right.
And of course, I know I'm not that old, but, 43, I've lived in the big cities. And from living in the big cities, man, I just don't like being in them no more. I don't like big crowds. I don't want to be around all those people. I'm comfortable where I'm at. What's up, Frogzilla?
Yeah.
After riding through Knoxville, Ray, I can't say I blame you. Like, that's a zoo.
Yeah, it is. It sucks. I hate that place too.
I figured Knoxville's just the growth over there is so incredible. It's probably just always under construction.
It is. It is. It really is, man. They're putting in so many apartment complexes and homes and stuff. Just you can see it from the interstate, just lined up. They're just building and building, and it's just, I mean, from UT to there's so many jobs, and I mean, growth is a good thing to a point,
Sure,
but I think it can overgrow,
Oh, no, for sure, man. I mean, look, progress, and this is something that we really, man, like we always think, whether it's business or whatever it is, it's always more and more and more. But eventually, you like if you had a ship and you're sailing it around the world and you're going to sell some goods, right? You can load that ship up and you can make some money, but you could also load that ship up to the point where you just sink to the bottom of the ocean, right? And so to me, that's kind of like progress. Like a good bit of progress is good, but then too much progress, and then you kill the thing that made it great,
Yep. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm so thankful that you guys came to Tennessee, like Mikey and his buddy Mike. They came down last weekend, and I hate to say it was because of me, because I don't want to take that kind of credit.
It's because of you.
They came to the Smoky Mountain Rally. They were doing their big trip anyways. I mean, they had been planning this trip, how long you been planning? Y'all do this, what, every year? Y'all ride somewhere and do, and
No, not at all. Actually, Ray, I hate to. I'm not even going to burst your bubble. I'm going to blow it up a little bit, but our plans had nothing to do with Tennessee at all. We were chatting, and I was like, "Dude, Ray's 8 hours away. I've been telling him I want to come down there and see him. The Smoky Mountain Rally's going on anyways. Well, we got a rally to look at. The Tail of the Dragon's right there. Why wouldn't we go?" So
exactly.
he wasn't for it until we got on 77. I think we hit Highway 77 heading south, and he's looking at all these mountains. I'm like, dude, this ain't nothing yet. Like, wait, because he hasn't really done a lot of traveling like that as an adult. So, I've seen all this crap. I'm like, bro, you wait until we get down there. And he had the time of his life. He had a great time.
Doc says hello. Yeah.
It's good to see you, Doc. You're on my list, Doc. I'm going to get out there to Connecticut probably next year. I'm guessing early. Spring-ish, do the best I can to avoid snow. But I want to go see you. I want to go see Jay Sorsby down there.
So we took, we took them up on the Foothills Parkway, which is an excellent ride. And now they did the Dragon, and just like I've told a million people, and the reason I don't go over there is not because I don't know how to ride it, because I've been there twice and I won't go back. If you come to Tennessee, you've got, if that's something, a bucket list you want to do or just see it, experience it, go do it. But was I right, Mike? How bad was it? I
want to do it again.
See, I try to tell people that, and I'm like, there's more stuff in Tennessee than the Dragon. Yes, like I said, if you travel a long way, you want to hit it once to experience it, cool. But 9 out of 10 people say the same thing you say. Dude, fuck that place. I won't never go back. It's insane. It's just there's idiots on there, and I prefer to keep my life, and live my life and not get hit by some moron. So, and like I said, Foothills Parkway, it gets busier than what it was that day, but it's to me a nicer ride, and there's a lot of better other rides too. It's just how much time you got and how do you want to explore East Tennessee,
Right.
So, it's...
Yeah. The Dragon, honestly, like I said, I've only ridden the Dragon on cruisers, going back to 25 years ago. So, the sport bike guys, I get where that could be fun, but at the same time, those are also the biggest morons on the whole road. So, I've been on that road where at least twice where, one of those freaking jockeys crossed the center line on me, and only because I avoided them and they cut back just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in the apex of a turn on them, down as low as they are, there's not a lot of they can do.
Nope. And I always say stay closer to the white line than the yellow line, because them idiots will come over on you. Stay on the inside.
It's like it never occurred to them that's a two-way road or something.
Yeah. Because they will come over on you quick, and I do not feel like messing with those people. They have a tree of shame for a reason, or whatever they call it.
Yeah, all those parts up in that tree. Yeah,
they have that for a reason. You know what I mean? They're telling people, hey, please watch how you drive. How you ride, because it ain't just motorcycles, man. There's a lot of idiots there. And
yep.
I hate to say it, but those car clubs and stuff, they make it 10 times dangerous, and I have a feeling that one of these days it's going to get to the point where they either close it off to the motorcycles or they close it off to the damn cars, because they can't stop. There's never going to stop the accidents. The accidents are always going to happen,
Right. Well, the car guys get overconfident because they're planted on 4 wheels, right? So,
what's up, buddy?
To me, they take even more chances than the most bikes do. Most of the guys on the cruisers are not being stupid. it's the sport bike guys, and then the
Yep.
the hot rods.
Yep. And I tell you, I avoid that place. I really do. Like I said, I've been there. I have no reason to go back. I've left nothing over there. I don't care for it, man. Call me a CC. I don't care. I've rode it. I don't care for it. Like I said, I enjoy other places in Tennessee than that, So
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah,
so
but there
happy
are
you
plenty of
came.
roads that I've ridden, and I'm glad I did. But
Oh
like you
yeah,
said, it's not like they're so compelling that you want to go back.
yeah. And
Like I
that's the
would tell
thing,
people
though.
the same thing about like the Twisted Sisters, right? There's three sisters out in the hill country,
Hill country of
Texas. That's my backyard, right? But it's not that great. I mean, it is because it's Texas, and quite honestly, if you live in East Texas, unless you're going to Arkansas, that's the closest you're going to get to anything fun, on a motorcycle road. It's like those poor souls in Florida; they got to go to Georgia, northern Georgia at that. So,
Yeah, I mean,
I tell people all the time, go ride the Twisted Sisters, but don't expect that you're going to, fall in love with it or something. It's not like the $1 Million Highway. You could ride I could ride that a bunch. There's
he's freezing.
roads up around there's some other roads I have not ridden yet, but I expect they would be roads that I'd want to ride all the time. So what's up, Doc?
Hey, what's going on, Keith? Mikey, good to see you again, buddy. It's been a hot minute,
Yeah, been out living. It's been awesome.
Good for you, man.
YouTube free for 7 months now. Best decision I've ever made. Makes me really happy to not have to worry about all that stuff.
Well, it's your life, it's your decision. That's what you want to do. Rock on.
Yeah, and I agree with him though. I mean, there was just certain points got to certain places, and he made that decision. And anything that improves your life or makes you happier, man, go for it. And I don't know. I just don't think that how to put this. It's for everybody. You know what I mean? And of course, I don't want to bring up anything negative like Thumper said, the accident that you had seen and experienced and stuff like that, man, that was some stuff that, I don't blame you really from taking a step back and things like that and stuff like that. So, but like I said, I'm just happy that you guys got to come through here and got to, not just see me and Tweedle and Dan and experience that, you guys got to, just make your trip. To me, I thought you made your trip better by getting to ride through those mountains, and getting to do the dragon and getting to do the foothills and stuff like that. So, I mean, just kind of getting to see some of the things that we, where we live and stuff that we do. So, I don't know. I think it's.
It was great, Ray. It was a lot like a lot of the California roads I rode, with the exception of them not having all the trees burned down and no California plates on the road, which is also great. But road-wise, very similar, very similar.
You guys were talking about the Tail of the Dragon. It's an overrated road, in my opinion.
What's going on?
There's a lot better roads, from what I understand from talking to Ray and Tweedle and everybody else down there, like Devil's Triangle and all that. Now, a good friend of mine, my brother Mike, will be headed down there next week, and he's hooking up with Tweedle and hopefully Ray and DDK and all them to go for a ride, because he's going to be there 2 nights and 1 full day. So hopefully, you guys will hook up, and Ray, you get to meet Mike before you get to meet me face to face, and he's a good, solid dude.
Yeah, he always seems like it.
But he's kind of funny when you take him out sightseeing someplace. He's like Clark Griswold, when you show him something, he's like, "Okay, let's go."
Yep.
Do you know how close, Doc, I came to going to see the largest ball of twine while we were in Wisconsin? But it was
Let me guess, within
it
a
was
mile.
it was 6 hours away, and I just couldn't pull it off. I did not have the time in my schedule. But man, because of Clark Griswold, that's exactly I wanted to do that so bad.
Yep. But I had a busy day in the shop today, and it was good. Helped out a couple people, with their suspension, and they're happy. They're not home yet. They told me they'd message me when they get home. So here's hopes. Noggin came down and hung out, and that was a good
that's
time as
cool.
well.
Yeah.
Yep.
I bet
Corey,
he's fun to be around.
yeah, Noggin's a lot of fun. He takes a razzing, but he gives it back too at the same time. He's a good-hearted dude, love him to death. I gave him that small coffin tank that was given to me
Really?
for his chopper build because it was too small for my chopper build. So he just sent me a picture of it sitting on his frame, and it's the right size for his Sportster chopper.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I believe in paying it forward. Lowbrow Customs gave it to me for the chopper build. Well, unfortunately, it's too small for what the application is. It's only a 1.4 gallon tank or 1.6 gallon tank, which is perfect for a
Sportster guy.
Well,
Sportster guy.
I was originally the plan was to build a Sportster chopper until, Noggin donated that rolling chassis he got to my build. Mikey, just to bring you up to speed, I partnered up with a veterans organization here in Connecticut, and they're not federally funded or subsidized or anything like that. And what I'm doing is I'm building a chopper, hopefully out of all donations, and I'm giving it to them to raffle off to raise money.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Not federally funded equals not crooked.
Exactly.
Bingo.
Awesome.
Yep. Because once you get into that politics with them foundations,
People.
Yeah, it's not good. I would honestly. I mean, like I said, there's two people I support, and that's the Heart Foundation and the Cancer Society. And the reason why is because I was born with my heart problems and issues, and they've done a lot for me. And then the Cancer Society, where my brother passed away of brain cancer, man, they helped him so much. They did so much for him. He fought it for like 5 years before he had like 2 major brain surgeries. And I mean, just went through hell and back and still passed away. But, they helped in so many ways, even like the Ronald McDonald House and, and everything. So those are the 2 major things that I would support. Now, if I was to do something local, like veterans or anything veteran, I would want to do some kind of local organization where I know that they would actually get the money in their hands or get whatever was donated where they could actually benefit from it, and not say, oh, well, we got to pay electric bill. We got to pay our therapy people, and then for what? Because it's never getting to the person that needs it, so.
Yep.
Or maybe, take a ride under the veil of one of those organizations and buy a couple campgrounds. See, I can say that kind of stuff now because I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I'd be honest with you, Mikey. I mean, through some of my super chats, and I had a donation come to me through Venmo for this build, and it was $400. Not a lot towards a chopper build, but it was enough to get the rolling chassis from Noggin, which really put the chopper in a forward progress. I have a Springer front end that I purchased will be coming in hopefully this coming weekend. I'll be able to pick that up and get that on the bike, and there'll be a video on that. I mean, who doesn't love a Springer on a rigid?
I was gonna say you're not an American if you don't want a Springer front end, man. Which I understand. The price range is kind of depends, but if I'm going to build a chopper and if I can take my time and either get it donated or afford it, dude, Springer. Of course, I understand. I would take whatever I could, but yes, if I had the option. All right, buddy. I'll holler at you in a bit.
Take care, Keith.
All right, man. So, I mean, truthfully, well, Mike disappeared too. Okay.
That's just you and I now.
Well, But anyways, if I had the option to do it, if I had the money to do it, of course I would want a Springer front end. But I understand that I don't have Springer money. You know what I mean? So I would take whatever I could get,
Yep.
either donated or what I could afford. Even if I had to leave, even if I had to leave device not connected, Mikey. So even if I had to leave the regular front end on it, of course I wouldn't want to. It would be more if I had to do that on my Sportster now. It would be more of a bulldog chopper, like a little bulldog. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but they're
Yep.
just a small, But of course, I like a lot of different choppers. Don't get me wrong. Like Bill's, the big front end, like monkeys with the big rabbit ear, handlebars. They're cool. I've sat on Bill's, both of his. I don't think that I would enjoy. Still not connected, buddy. I don't think I would enjoy. I don't know. I just like to sit different, and I can be wrong. I've never rode one with that, so I can be wrong. Um, like I said, I like the shorter, nubby nose front ends. Springers. And I can change my mind if I ever rode one. Of course, like Bill said, you don't even really put your hands on it to steer on those rabbit ears. You can take one finger and just steer with it. It's so easy to do.
As long as the rake and trail is set right on the front end.
Yes.
And you'd be surprised. Springer front ends, they're really not that expensive. They range anywhere from like the $300 range all the way up to the $3,000 range. And there's so many different options. Of course, the $3,000 ones. I forget the name of that Springer.
Well, you got Lowbrow, you got Lead Sled Customs.
Yep.
They're some of the best Sportster Springers you can find.
Yep. There's so many of them out there.
Yeah.
And
it really depends on what you want to pay, man. What's up, James?
Yep.
You can go from $1,300 to $5,000. It just depends on what you're willing to put out in that bike. So I think, like I said, a lot of it is just what you want to do and what kind of time frame you're doing it on and what you're willing to spend. I mean, really, that's, in my opinion, I would take my time and just source out either the parts from swap meets and stuff like that, and talk to these old guys that are at these swap meets that know this stuff, and kind of go from there. And of course, if you're not really for sure about something, you could always call up Lowbrow or a chopper company, and I'm sure trust me, they love to help people. They love to give good advice. They let you know things. So I mean,
exactly. I started this build with a dream and a desire, and now I have a rolling chassis. I got a proper size fuel tank. I got a Springer front end coming. Yeah, I paid for the fuel tank. I paid for the Springer front end, but the rolling chassis was donated through super chats and through private donations through Venmo. The fuel tank I paid for. I got a pretty good deal on it. I have to modify it to fit because it's a little too big.
What style did you go with?
It's a coffin style.
Is it? Okay.
Yep. It's still a coffin. It's 3.6 gallons instead of the 1.4 gallon.
All right.
I do have to modify it because it is a little too long. So I'll be cutting the back of it and welding in a new end plate on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure if it's going to be a straight cut or a baloney cut going from the top back of the tank down, or will it just be straight? I haven't decided yet. That's also, I haven't decided. I've been toying around with the idea of having it sit up on the top of the backbone. If it does, I have to build a filler piece to cover the tunnel, or have it sit and wrap around the tank, around the frame, which still leaves a lot of room between the frame and or the top of the bottom of the tank and the motor, so you can still see through it. So
yeah,
there's still a lot of planning going on, and it's evolving as I go.
And it will probably change 2 or 3 more times, as you look
Probably
at it,
2
and
or 3,000 more
and that's
times.
what I mean. As you put something on, you'll say, no, or you'll say, yeah, but I want this here too, or something. I don't think a motorcycle, no matter if it's a chopper, bagger, performance bike, whatever, I don't think it's really ever done, because you can still always take something off and put something different on. So,
And
I
I've
mean,
decided on a color for now. I'm not doing black. It's going to be a small metallic blue. I'm going because it's a 97 frame, so I'm going with a 90 style chopper instead of a 60 style, which was my original thought. Because I love the 60 style, and go from there and just let this bike grow and develop and become the motorcycle it wants to be.
yeah. And no matter what,
one
man,
lucky winner.
it'll take shape, and
Yep.
it'll go in the direction it will go in that you see it, but it will still go for the good cause. So that's, to me, all that matters in the long run.
Then one lucky winner off of one ticket will win it.
Yeah. And like the Thumper said, and I agree, you go to these little chopper rallies, or event, not little, but you go to some of these chopper events and rallies, man, a lot of those companies, they're sitting there, and I tell you what, I see them all over, not just Smokeout, all these other places. A lot of them, they'll have a rolling chassis sitting right there. They'll sell you, for not hardly really a lot. So, and like I said, a garage built, I mean, you can get so many ideas, or you can buy stuff from there, or their companies or whatever. And I mean, as long as you got the money and what you're willing to spend, you can source it out fairly easy. I say you got 10K, say you take 10 grand, you could start out really good. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
And because I'm the type, I'm going to source my stuff from swap meets and used, and I want it to look rugged. Yes, it'll have a paint job, but it's going to look rugged and good.
So more like a rat rod.
Well, yeah, and not really rat rod, but it's going to be more of a rat chopper, And I'm not saying I wouldn't have the frame paint. I'm just saying I don't think I would want a show quality bike, because I want to ride it. Now, I would want to ride it, as much as I could. So, tank painted, fenders painted, yeah. But the frame and stuff, maybe not. I would keep everything, just, authentic looking. And that's just my style. I want that rugged look, because I'm going to ride it. I'm not going to just want to take it to shows, because I mean, you can take it to shows and do a ride-in, Sportster, if it's a Sportster motor, whatever, Sportster bike, chopper, whatever.
I'm not a big fan of bikes that are trailer queens. Yes, they're nice to look at.
And they're beautiful.
Work that way into them, but they're not riding it. Or if they do ride it, they're riding it not that far.
No,
from the trailer to the show, and from the show back.
And that's what I'm saying. If you really look at these garage built, like when we was at Smokeout, these guys riding in, and I'm talking about riding their choppers in, you could tell. And there was some badass paint jobs, man, and some nice bikes, but they were riding them. You know what I mean? They were actually putting miles on them. You could tell they had their bags all strapped to them. They'd been riding miles, and that's me. I don't want to have to worry about the paint. I want to ride it. And if it gets dirty, hey, that's fine. It's dirty because I rode it. You know what I mean? It's not all shiny, and I like the shiny bikes too. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like, man, I wouldn't even want to sit on it if I had something that nice,
Yep.
And
I don't know. Tiger's question here. Yes, Tiger, you could get a Springer front end that will support disc brakes.
Oh, yeah.
On the front wheel.
Yeah.
I will be doing that, because this is going to be a giveaway, and I want it to be as safe as possible.
Yeah. You don't have to go completely old school where it's just, you're going to get a ticket every time you pull out the driveway. I mean,
right.
As long as you got a mirror, little brake lights, blinker.
I do have a small mirror for it. It's maybe about 1.5 inches to 2 inches round. It's DOT approved. It's from Drag Specialties. It's one I've had laying around in the package here for years, so it's not pitted or anything, so that's perfect.
So Mike, man, you guys, where you're at in Michigan, are you close to Lake Michigan?
Opposite side. We're over by the other lake. We're north of Detroit, so we're up towards the thumb.
Okay. So is that like the west side or east side?
East side.
East side. Okay.
Yeah,
So
straight up
you're
75. I-75 about 20 minutes west of me.
yeah, because I'd say you guys probably have what, maybe a month, and then you're going to have snow or what? January comes or
Yeah, we'll ride through it. Like I know it sounds crazy, but like I didn't store the Road King. I'm not going to store this bike. I'm going to be riding it.
Yep.
It gets a little sketchy sometimes with the ice, but I'm not worried about it. Like it's nothing I haven't seen already. It's salt that concerns me, but I mean, I was running up and down the PCH and getting ocean salt on the damn bike anyways. So as long as I'm keeping it clean and wiping it down, it should be all right.
Yep.
Not concerned.
How is the Indian running?
Great. Had one little hiccup out on the road. That was strange for a minute, but we got poured on for a while. And I almost lost it on a couple of steel plates at night in the rain. And like a monsoon come through, and we're riding the Buffalo Wild Wings to go watch the Detroit Lions beat up on the Green Bay Packers, which is something I truly adore. And on the way back, ran into a couple steel plates, and bike went all sideways, riding it like a dirt bike. Got her back straightened up. When I tried to start her again, clutch switch didn't fail. There's just two little pins in there that broke off. And it probably has been like that for quite some time. It just the rain lubricated it enough to allow it to turn.
Mm-hmm.
So got it figured out, put it back together. Had a little panic there for a moment because just like out in California, dealerships aren't everywhere like Harley's. So I was like, man, if I need a part, like right now it's starting in neutral, so I'm good. Let's keep rolling. So yeah. Scratch the shit out of one of the bags going over top of it. Like, yeah, it's stuff they could beat on when you put the miles on that I do. So it's what it is.
What you got it for, though, right? To ride?
That's what I got it for. That's exactly what I got it for.
Yep. So
comfy ride. Saddleman, I'm not real happy with. I'm maybe put some gel in it or something like that because day 5 going up I-75, learned a valuable lesson to put my wallet in my front pocket. He's kicked me sideways. Back was all jacked up by the time I got to a rest stop in Ohio. We rode straight from Knoxville, straight up 75 home. So that was 9.5 hours.
Yeah, you guys was hauling some butt though, man. Because when you messaged me and said, "Hey," I was like, "Hold on, dude, you just left."
We were doing the speed limit, Ray. What are you talking about?
So, Mike,
like, what?
Right around Super Bowl weekend, they do the SSTL. It's a chopper show in St. Louis. Are you thinking of going?
What? When is it?
It's in February. This past February, it was like the 10th and 11th.
I remember you going to that.
Yeah, it was the Cycle Showcase. Big Randy puts it on. He's the owner of it. He travels to. He actually started expanding it, so he's actually going to a lot more events now and setting his this place up. And it's not really the same motorcycles. Like I've seen some in St. Louis, and then when I seen him, at Smokeout, he had a completely different sets. And when he went to Ozarks here this couple weeks ago, he had different ones. I think he had 21, and then so he's always inviting different builders at different sites. And I know for a fact that when I talked to him on the phone here a few weeks ago, he's got some big things coming for St. Louis. He's a lot of different things. And the thing about St. Louis is it's an indoor course. And it's there. I forget the name of what it's called, but it's where the old steel mills and all that was. They have a big food court and everything. You go in, but he had like these little vendors set up all around, and they're not big vendors. They're not big name. They're local, and they're like they're like this one chick. She was like this metal welding maker cat. You know what I mean? And she made just things that she did, and it's just. Little vendors like that and good little products and stuff and artwork, tattoo artists. They had, this and that. And of course, I find it hard to top something like that, but he's going to top it. He said, it's going to be better. And And really, you don't even. It's cold. Me and Dallas went. Was in his truck. Of course, I'd like to ride, but if it's cold and the way it was, I don't want to ride. But I can tell you don't need a motorcycle to go there. You go in a car, man. You can have fun. Yes, it's called the Foundry. Downtown, dude, Friday night, it was like meet the builders. We went to a place called the Garage. They had a live stage, good band playing. It was in a brick building there next to the baseball field, the big Major League Baseball field, whatever they are up there. I don't know sports, so I don't know who they are. But, just a great night, and then Saturday night after the show, everybody went to this one strip down there, and not the Foundry, it was a different strip. And they went to this little bowling alley, which I think they could have picked a better place because there was like 5 lanes and like 150 bikers and builders and shit was just packed in this little place. And of course, the locals, and when we all showed up, they kind of all left. You know what I mean? And it was like, oh shit, the bikers are here. All of the bikers are coming in. So they left really. And it was fun hanging out Saturday night. Like I said, but where me and Dallas had stayed, the whole second floor, man, is just a bar, outdoor patio with a fireplace. Just pool tables and everything and it's called the Loft, ALOFT Loft. Such a nice little hotel, man. It's not little, but it's a decent sized hotel. It's like a throwback to the 80s. Like you go in and the wallpaper in the bathroom is like cassette tapes and the furniture is like 80s style rad stuff and the carpet, everything is real cool. Like hipster shit, man. We were down in hipster fucking alley, when we went
right up your lane.
There you go. And I can tell you, dude, it was a fun weekend just getting to hang out with those people and getting to meet Evil Rick and, XAN and different people, man. It was a good weekend. But yes, I'm planning on hopefully taking the wife if she gets off.
My wife and I are planning on coming out as well.
So I don't know how far St. Louis is from you, though.
We'll be taking a plane.
So about 10 hours.
Oh, okay. So it was 9 hours for me to drive. Yeah.
Well,
now, Dallas, I think it was 6.
Dallas drove. You rode.
Yeah, I think it's 6 for Dallas, but it was 3 for me to get to Dallas and then to go another 6 hours. So it was 9 hours altogether. So I haven't looked it up from my house to directly going through Kentucky and going over there. I'm sure it ain't 9 hours. So, look there. There's the hoodie.
I don't have anything to worry about if I get there. So
there you go.
Mark, man, it'd be no issue. They wouldn't even have to be worried about me.
But
I love that.
I think
I don't even think I've washed it yet.
Oh, really? I think it's
seat bugs on it.
Yeah. Your bike was covered, dude.
Oh, it's so bad.
But just for like the winter time, there's so much. Everybody is like stuck in the house, and you know what I mean. And there's not a lot going on, especially for like Doc and stuff. I know they ride and stuff, but it's cold and snow or sleet. And for something to actually go on in February, man, that we can get out and enjoy, I think it's a great place for people to meet up, and just have a fun weekend.
I think it's like 2 weeks before Daytona this year, so that works out good.
Yeah,
because I'll be down in Daytona, as you know, Ray.
Yeah,
for the whole rally.
And so my plan so far, if everything works out right, I will be there in St. Louis February. March, I will be in Daytona. April, I will be in Leesburg, Florida. May, I will be at Loretta Lynn's. June, July, don't know yet exactly what I'm doing. August, if I'm really considering I'm going to Sturgis. September, not for sure what September and October holds, to tell you the truth. But that's my plans.
To Loretta Lynn's as well.
So far, that's my plans.
Yep.
Right
and
there.
Then Gettysburg, and maybe in September going back to Ocean City.
Well, see, I was thinking either Gettysburg or the other one. that y'all have up there. At least try to get to Gettysburg for either the spring or fall. Not for sure which one.
Well, Gettysburg only
Or
does it.
Hog Rock. Either Gettysburg or Hog Rock.
I'll be in Gettysburg again next summer. I love that rally. One, you're right there on the battlefield, and there's just so much history, so much to do, and there's some
When is
great
that?
riding, some great riding right around there. And it's a nice little, local rally. There's not a lot of major vendors, but they have a good amount of vendors between Battlefield Motorcycles, it's called now, and
Yeah, September
at
Smokeout.
Sports
Sorry,
Complex.
I forgot about that. Yeah, September Smokeout. So yeah, so that's my list. And like I said, I don't know. I've never been to Hog Rock or Gettysburg, which I think I would enjoy Gettysburg better than Hog Rock, just for the fact because I like history and I like to see that kind of stuff. And if I'm going to go somewhere, I want to be somewhere where I can see that kind of stuff. I want to explore it. I want to
When is
learn
that
about it.
rally? When is that Gettysburg rally? Because I got people down there that I can stay with. That's what I was
Right
asking.
around 4th of July weekend.
Okay.
Okay, so
And I stayed right on the battlefield. Last 2 years, I stayed at the Battlefield Bed and Breakfast. I will plan on staying there again this year. And I'm literally a mile away from the sports complex where the vendor village is. And you have to pay to get into the vendor village. But with that, it's covered all the bands, the fireworks. So it's really, when you look at it that way, the cost for the two wristbands for the 4 days for my wife and I was $100.
Wow, that's killer.
Yeah.
so that's
to
just
see
one
the
time a
bands.
year, though, right?
I mean, Jackal's there playing. I mean, who
Oh.
hasn't seen
They
Jackal?
just played this past Saturday night over here, or one of the nights over here for Smoky Mountain.
Yep. And I got, when we were up at Catskill Mountain Thunder about a month ago, we saw Adelita's Way, Drowning Pool, Saliva. I got to drink and party with CJ, the guitarist for Drowning Pool, and had a nice conversation with the lead singer from Saliva.
Yeah, see, there were several bands that smoke out. Drowning Pool. I don't get close to them because it gets so loud for me. My anxiety, and I get in my ears and stuff, and I kind of stay back because I can hear it no matter where I'm at on the place. But I was hanging out over at Monk's, so, and a lot of people were around other things going on, like some wet stuff. And so I was like, I'm not like, I know everybody thinks I'm this big live crowd person, all this, but once you get to meet me, you see how I am. I'm not, So I was about probably a football field, maybe or so back away from a band and stuff, because I just can't deal with a lot of that live music anymore. I don't know if it's age or if it's my vertigo or whatever it is, man. There's something that irritates me about real loud stuff, and or being in that middle of that crowd. I like to watch from a distance, but I don't want to be in the middle of that crowd. I really don't. And
I still like a good mosh pit.
See, I grew out of that out of my 20s. I'm like, and like with the wet t-shirt, people were saying they were walking out of that tent sweating, just balls of sweat. It was so hot, sweating, and they were just miserable and shit. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm like 50 freaking yards behind. I can still see. I'm not up in that middle of that shit going crazy because I don't care for that anyways. But yeah, it's cool to look at and I can see it from a distance. But, I was not up there in the middle of that because I can't deal with a lot of that, a lot of that in crowd people and stuff. And I refuse to do it. And don't get me wrong, I love rallies, I love events, I love going places, but I like to be, and that's why I like doing it, because I have my space and I can always space out and go somewhere and I don't have to be in the middle of that stuff. So yeah. I don't know, call me different. It doesn't matter.
Okay, different.
I enjoy what I enjoy, and I can't deal with those big crowds like that.
That's you. I mean, everybody's different. Everybody has their own tastes, and that's what makes people great.
So, and that's right. And like I said, some people like to be there under the stage, close or whatever. I just that's not me.
That's me.
and yeah, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. I've been there. I've done it. I've seen things close up. Every night I turn over in the bed, I see stuff close up. You know what I mean? I mean, and it is fun to, window shop a little bit, but I mean,
I call it inspiration.
yeah, there you go. The clothing optional. This is the only reason I'm getting crowds. Yeah. But I mean, like I said, everybody's different. Everybody's energy is different. People like to be in certain places, and like I said, I enjoy just kicking back and enjoying, what I enjoy. But
there's
yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
that's my plans. And Gettysburg is only one time a year, right? Or is it twice?
Just one.
Okay. See, I've been really thinking about that because that's been on the list for a long. I'd rather go to Gettysburg, in my opinion, than Laconia. And nothing about the rain. I just think that I would enjoy Gettysburg better than I would Laconia. I don't know why.
Laconia, Ranconia, whatever you want to call it. I won't be going back there for a long time for the rally. It was so disappointing this year. It was so disappointing last year. I didn't want to go back this year, but my wife's like, well, it's the 100th, and they really played up the 100th anniversary. And the biggest name band they had was Jackal. And the only thing they did for the 100th was the T-shirts, pins, patches, and stickers.
There you go. And nothing towards Jackal. They're a 30-year-old band. That
never hit big.
They tour. They're a carnival band, pretty much.
Yep.
They're a circuit band. And nothing wrong. I don't listen to their music. I mean, if I see them and I hear them, cool, whatever. If they're playing, I don't get into it. Really, not that. I have nothing against them. I don't think that the way, like you said, they built it up so much over, the whole year. I mean, come on, man, spend a little money and get somebody there that people are going to really want to see, I'm
going to plug the Catskill Mountain Thunder. I really am, because it's a lot smaller rally. I mean, real small. It's on their campground, and that's it. When you go into the town of East Durham, New York, there's nothing that says welcome bikers or anything like that. It's a very small rally that had on Friday night, they had tribute bands. Actually, they had that Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night was tribute bands. Saturday night, they had those three headliners. I mean, Adelita's Way is a headliner. Drowning Pool is a headliner. Saliva is a headliner.
Yeah.
And they were back to back to back in one night, and each band played for an hour and a half. And, the price was included with the hotel stay.
Well, even like Smokeout, dude. Look here, I paid $120 because I paid at the gate for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, left Sunday. So 3.5 days, whatever you want to call it, 4 days, whatever. Dude, Drowning Pool. I mean, come on, dude. Even Smokeout had Drowning Pool. And I'm not saying nothing bad about Smokeout because I love Smokeout. I love that. That was awesome. For my first time going to Smokeout, it was an enclosed environment. Like you said, I love the camp out. I got there Thursday, parked my bike, never even started again till Sunday till I left. I didn't need to go anywhere. Didn't need to get, any of that stuff. Let's see. I went to the dollar store up the road a little ways. That was it. Tiger took me up to the dollar store so I could get cigarettes, and that was like 200 yards down the road. And I was going to walk. I didn't even want to I forgot I even had my bike. That's how much you don't even need a bike. I was like, dude, I wasn't even thinking I got a motorcycle. I could have just rode up there and got my cigarettes, but he offered to take me and what's up, Jamin? So he took me, and I was like, dude, I could have walked here and back. We didn't have to take your truck. And then as soon as I came out of the dollar store, it started pouring the rain. I was like, well, thank God I didn't walk, So, but that's what I'm saying. They had a headliner, a Drowning Pool, dude. And for Laconia to be this oldest rally there is and the 100th anniversary or whatever, dude, you think they would have brought in somebody like, Bob Seger or Bruce Springsteen. I'm just saying the way they hyped it up so much, you would have thought they would have had this big name, person come in. What's up, Dallas?
Ocean City Bike Week 2022. And one night I saw Chevelle, and Godsmack in one night. I mean, talk about two major bands in one night. And, you know, Laconia really needs, they're either trying to kill the rally
Mm-hmm.
or they need to get a reality check of what people want to see when they're at a rally, because they have gotten so PC with their rallies that they're afraid they're going to offend anybody with anything.
Yeah. And I believe you're right, man. I believe they just don't. I believe a lot of them just don't want to put effort in because they don't really, they either trying to push it out and they just tired of dealing with it, or they just don't want to, they just don't want it anymore, you know? And I don't know. I think they could do research. If they walked around and talked to us about it, you know, the people at the rallies, I think they would get such a better idea. And then what I hear is like, hey, this guy that runs this and runs this. And so, you know, he's a cool dude, or these are cool people. They, you know, they ride themselves or whatever it may be. And I'm like, well, they obviously don't know how to put on a rally, because they would be getting the things that people would want to come and see and spend money. You know, I mean, no offense towards the vendors, but those vendors, man, we know who's going to usually be at what rally with the vendors. We know that already. You know,
and for me, everybody says, well, Laconia is more of a riding rally than a party rally. Well, that's fine. I don't need to go pay rally prices for hotels, you know, 3 times the amount of what it normally costs to go right around in New Hampshire. It's only 3.5 hours away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I can make it in under 3 if I take all highways and just tear up there and then spend all day riding up there and then come home that night. Or spend the night and come home the next day. I don't need to go there for that rally. I mean, the best thing for me this year at Laconia Rally was hanging out with the Thumpers, hanging out with Baggers and Brews and Corey and Upstate Rider, you know, that, and Dez. I mean, that was the highlight of the rally for me. And not to take anything away from them. They're awesome people. You know, they're great people. But you also go to the rally for the rally stuff, and there really wasn't any. I mean, I'm sorry. The vendors
I understand
at the racetrack were a heck of a lot better than where that was at Laconia Harley Davidson. Down on Weir's Beach, the very popular Weir's Beach. Let's see, you had t-shirts after t-shirts after t-shirts, maybe a knife dealer and t-shirts after t-shirts, and maybe a jewelry dealer and t-shirts after t-shirts after t-shirts.
And 90% of the guy owns the same damn ones. The same people own the same ones. They just put them under different tents.
Yep. And slightly different pricing. Hey, 3 for 45, 3 for 43, you know,
3 for 15. There's 3. Yeah, exactly. And they're still making the money. And I think you could take that out of, if you're really going to take that off the table, Laconia, and put time, like I think Mel, your wife, would agree with you. Maybe y'all could take that expense and that time that you take from there and go and enjoy somewhere else that you will have a lot more fun.
The SSTL and Loretta Lynn's.
Yeah.
That's going to replace Laconia. I mean, I had it. Even Milwaukee for 120th anniversary party was amazing. I had such a great time out there. You know, so much rally stuff going on. They actually had to shut streets down in Milwaukee for motorcycle parking. They had, you know, streets shut down just for motorcycle rides, and they put on such a better show than Laconia. And they're talking about bringing it back year after year of the Milwaukee Rally because it was such a huge success. And of course, on the 125th, it's going to be another big thing. And then the 130th, every 5 years, Harley's going to do an anniversary party, which is awesome. And I got to meet that gentleman, Joe Petrali, great grandson.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I got to meet him and hang out with him, and he came on my live. You know, that was a great connection. I missed meeting Willie G by 12 hours, which I was upset about because I really would love to shake the man's hand.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I think you're right, man. They're going to build that up, and I think a lot more people are going to notice that that's going to be a lot better than certain places they go, and they're going to start now that they've seen how this first one
Yeah.
took off. And
Well, they
know.
said, I think it was because of the 120th anniversary, but on Saturday alone, there was over 500,000 motorcycles in Milwaukee from out of state. Not including people like me who flew there, got a rental car, and drove around to everything. It was spread throughout Wisconsin at all the different dealerships and at the museum and at the plant outside of Milwaukee, right in Wisconsin, the powertrains operations. It was just so spread out, and it was such a great place, and the atmosphere was good, and everybody had live music. Everybody had, everything you'd want to see and do at a rally.
Yeah, I think that, which that ain't far from you, is it, Mike?
No, hop, skip, and a jump. We can actually about 4 hours. I can get on a ferry across Lake Michigan, land right just south of Green Bay, and it's not far at all.
And I think now that you're over back on the East Coast for a while, man, I think there's going to be a lot more you can do, because I mean, I'm not saying they don't do anything, of course they do Sturgis and there's other things out in California that we don't really see a lot of. They have a lot of different events and stuff, smaller events. And I just think the East Coast has so much stuff going on in the South and between Doc and us,
I think the big difference out there is the organization of all of it and getting the word out to everybody out Midwest and South and whatnot. They do a lot better job of it here than they do out West. So there'd be things that would happen that were huge, and I didn't even hear about them. And I'm searching everywhere. I'm popping in all these little Facebook groups and this group and that group, and getting on Cyclefish and whatnot to try to find things to do as I'm going. And they just weren't as good with promoting those activities. And I don't know if that's on purpose. It may be on purpose so they don't overwhelm it. I don't know.
Yeah.
See,
not only that,
the Thumpers. The Laconia area is great. The rally sucked, but the area is great. I mean, there's some phenomenal riding. There's some great views. You could be in Maine in a matter of, maybe 3-4 hours. From there, you could be in Vermont. You could be in the White Hills. You could be, right down at the International Raceway there in Loudon, New Hampshire. There's just so much to do and see around there that I'm not going back to that area for a rally. I'll go back in the area to ride and have a good time, but I'm not going back for the rally because you know what? To stay at a Holiday Inn Express for $300 a night when it's normally, $89 a night because of the rally. Nah, just not my thing.
Yeah. And like I said, I agree with Mike on the West Coast. I try to keep up with a lot of people out there on social media. There's a few that I actually follow. And when I see them talking about the events and stuff, it seems like it's more like local shows, not rallies. It's shows or, they have this local stuff at this Harley dealer or local stuff at this dealer. Or, you know what I mean? It's not, or they have a run. They go and run and they ride somewhere and camp or they do some, it's not like you hear like over here, like, oh, we got Gettysburg, on the first of the fall and then spring and then fall, I never hear, all I hear is bike shows or car shows. And I know that's a big scene out there. That's their big to do things is the shows, the car shows, the bike shows, but I agree. I tried to really follow, like you said, you try to look for stuff. And like Dog on a Hog said that one time, those guys was trying to put that, they put that thing on that golf course, that thing, trying to build that up there. There's nothing around, they're trying to do something. And it's just like, it seems like they're more interested in that culture that they have out there, that they just keep it local, like a show here and there.
I think it's focused in Southern California as well. I was in Northern. So, that's the other part of it is most of the bike stuff and the bike shops, when you order stuff from there, it's in Southern California, somewhere in the LA area. And I wasn't, I was 9 hours north of that. So I didn't get to ride down there to do all that kind of stuff. You know, go see Thrash and Supply, go see. I went to an Arlen Ness place and it really stunk. But yeah, Hollister was a great example too. Hollister, it's a huge event, and I'm going to say almost every year because every year they go to the citizens and they take a vote on whether they want to do it or not. And you really don't know till the last minute. So that rally was planned, and I would imagine it probably wouldn't have been great because, you know, who knows what vendors are doing at that point. Like, are they going to come? Are they not going to come? They're waiting on this vote to happen, and then last minute they said, no, we're not doing it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of foolish because the town is losing out on all that extra tax dollars that'd be coming in, people spending money, staying in hotels, eating in restaurants. And if the town is you know, snubbing their nose up to it, that's their financial loss.
Yeah.
I mean, Sturgis, great example. That city lives on the bike week. They make their money during bike week.
Hate it.
The biggest thing I've heard from California, and I could be wrong, I could not be hearing everything, is the Born Free Show. Okay, so what did they do with the Born Free Show? It's huge out there because, you know, they have a lot of locals that love that. But what have they done? This is the second year. What have they done? They've moved it to Texas to another one. They started another one in Texas. Why? Because they know there's something about the South and something more Midwest or whatever you want to call Texas, whatever, you know, goes on. And there's more people, you know, I know that's a big to do out there is the Born Free Show. And don't get me wrong, I've watched a lot of them. They've had them for what, 14 now? They were going on 15.
Yeah, it's been a lot of them.
Yeah. So, and they're awesome. I would love to go out there and be at one of those, but now they've moved to one to Texas. I know they want to branch out. They want to do things because I know a lot of people can go all the way to California. So I think they're learning also that there's things that they're going to have to adapt to and either come out more towards the East Coast, with Midwest or East, because I think that we just have so much more stuff going on in events that take place from, you know, the Texas rally, Arizona, New Mexico, you know, you got, I mean, the Ozarks, you know, there's so much stuff that runs through this bottom line of the South. And then on the East Coast, you know, yeah, I know Sturgis is big and huge, but I haven't been to the rally, but I can tell you one thing. How many do we have here every month or two a month or something going on through the year? Sturgis is once a year. How many other ones do we have on the East Coast and the Southeast? You know, there's something always constantly going on. Panama City Beach, Florida. There's 2 or 3.
There's 2 in Daytona every year. Plus you got
Leesburg, Gibbstown, bike rally there in Florida. You got Panama City Beach, spring and fall rally. I mean, right there is what? 6.
Myrtle Beach does twice a year.
Yeah. I mean,
Laconia tried to do twice a year, but the second one in October doesn't really fly because everybody's going down to Daytona or Myrtle Beach.
You got Kentucky, Little Sturgis there. I mean, come on, there's so much. You got Loretta Lynn's. There's just so much stuff that goes on. You know, Gettysburg. Then you got Hog Rock, spring and fall, right?
Yep.
So there's 2 more there. I mean, Laconia. You got what's the other one you were saying? What's the Tomahawk? There's a Tomahawk rally. Cherokee. Yeah, there's
Americade up in Lake George.
Yeah, Ocean City. I mean, just right there is what, 10, 11 of them, just what we're naming off. Yep. I mean, dude, it's so insane that it's crazy. What do we hear from what do I hear from California? Born Free, that's it. You know, I mean, but like I said, you got
a lot of other motorcycle types out there too that are dominating that scene. Sport bikes are huge. So,
and that's what I'm saying. If you don't dive, you're fine. You're good. I mean, you're picking up. I mean, if you don't dive into the other motorcycle stuff, because like, hey, this past weekend, what was it, in Alabama? They had the BMW Classic, you know, the classic BMWs, you know, and all that stuff. I mean, you got, and then Georgia, they just had the Grundle run or something like that called. It's a chopper camp out for a weekend. I mean, awesome shit. You know, they've got so much stuff. I mean, I think it's really hard to compete with the East Coast or the Southeast. You know, there's so much. I don't know if it's because the vendors enjoy being over here more, or if it's the weather, you know, or if it's just that there's so many of us people that ride in the motorcycle community that they know that if they put something on, we're going to show up. You know, I mean,
Yep. Well, that also, people show up and ride out to Sturgis from all over the country. And same thing with, up in Milwaukee. I met some guys that rode up from Mexico City, Mexico, 7 of them, to go to Milwaukee. And you have that everywhere. And if they, the old saying, if you build it, they will come.
mm-hmm.
So if California really wanted to build a rally, you build a rally.
And then I think they have a David Mann chopper show in California somewhere.
Yep.
That's
Southern.
Yeah. So there's stuff out there. It's just not, I don't want to say that we don't know about it, but there's a lot of people that don't know about it. You know, there's things that actually happen that we just don't explore because we're not on that. Now, I'd say if we were out there, we would be looking up like you were, looking for things, and we would explore and find more stuff to do. But, being on the East Coast.
Trying, man. Yeah, I was trying and I couldn't find much, if anything.
Yeah. And
So
Ohio Bike Week. Jamin says Ohio Bike Week. See, there's something, it seems like just about every state over here, there's something going on. And
something over the Great Divide there, it just stops all the rallies.
Yeah. And that's not including the bike nights, the smaller events in every state, you have at dealerships in different locations, So, I mean, I think there's so much to do. And even in the wintertime, it ain't like the dealerships closed in the winter. A lot of them do stop their bike nights because at a certain time of the fall year, or whenever. But they know that they're not going to get people out there, because it's snowing around or whatever, But all right, guys, it's been an hour and a half, man. I think I'm going to jump off here. I've got the kids, like I said, they're on fall break. I just wanted to come on and do my show tonight. I missed last weekend, so
we missed you last weekend,
man.
Right?
Yeah,
I hate having I hate having mouth work done, dude. But it's better now, and
like I said to you earlier, man, no pain worse than tooth pain.
Yeah, I tell you, I've went through 4 heart surgeries, and my teeth that is still worse pain than I've felt. So, I mean, just to be honest, I've sit and looked at 6 monitors with something inside my heart, operating on my heart, and some spooky shit. You know what I mean? But having a toothache is worse than doing that, and I'm telling you. So, everybody in the side chat, thanks for showing up like always. Thanks for the support. Love you guys and have a good night. And most of you guys, we will see this weekend. So ride safe, keep hard. Have a good one.
Good to see you. Good night, bro.
Yeah, Mikey. See you, buddy. So stay in your lane or crash the damn thing. See you guys.
Peace.